This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on lrodvinetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on lrodvinetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to lrodvinetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode, Thirsty Topics. Hey, Meryl.
Hey.
How are you today?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I cannot complain.
Yay. That's
I can't complain, but no one really cares, right?
Except I'm bringing back complaining with some of my friends. I do enjoy a good vent / like in Jewish culture, we call it kvetching, like every now and then I like to be positive, but it's also just fun to have a very good venting, bitching session.
Sometimes it's good to get stuff off your chest. It kind of releases that tension and pressure, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Some people may have a little bit of pressure from this first story, but we'll see. The Chicago Bears are possibly going to Hammond, Indiana.
Whoa!
Yes. Let's see. Indiana and fans in the region are excited about the possibility. Indiana legislators announced this week that the Bears are interested in building a stadium in the Wolf Lake area of Hammond, just across the state line from Illinois. Now, there's a lot going on with this story. For one, everyone knows that I'm a lifelong diehard Bears fan.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think this could happen, but with everything going on over in Indiana, how aggressive they are with the deal they're putting on the table. Again, it's not over until everything's signed, but there is a realistic possibility this could happen. And it actually was on Good Morning America. They talked about it as well too. And I know that a lot of Illinois legislators say that they're caught off guard by this, which I don't understand how. But
yeah,
but they were just kind of knowing that the Bears are going to stay in Illinois. Obviously, the best case scenario will be to stay in Chicago and build somewhere in Chicago.
Yeah.
The best option is Arlington Heights, which the crazy thing about that is they actually bought the property and own the property already to build on. So for them to even think about going to another state kind of throws a whole new wrinkle. And what's interesting about this, Meryl, is that before, when they were talking about going to Arlington Heights, there was a big issue with the state saying that we're not going to, pay anything towards this dome. We're not going to do anything for infrastructure that's on the Bears. Mm-hmm. Well, because Indiana is really serious and moving very, very fast ahead to try and get the Bears over there, now there's possibility of investing in infrastructure to help the Bears stay. And I guess
of course, suddenly they found it.
Exactly. Why all the games? Because at the end of the day, why not just put a deal together that makes everyone happy? And again, the Bears have options. So I don't know. What do you think, Meryl?
My most important thing for this story was, how does Lawrence feel about this? I'm not going to lie. And so it just seems crazy, because I feel like when you think of Chicago, you think of obviously the Cubs and the Bears, and and it's just synonymous with the city. And so to me, it's just, and I guess the White Sox, right? Wait, Chicago is the White. I'm bad at baseball. That's the.
Yep, the Cubs and the Sox are both in Chicago.
Okay, good. Phew. Okay, good. But yeah, but basically, like the Bears just seem like it's meant to be there. It has a long history. It's like a huge part of the city. So yeah, why not provide, like you said, the support there when it was needed, rather than like it's almost like when you have a boyfriend and they treat you badly, and then all of a sudden you leave or you get a new apartment and they're like, wait, I can change.
It's true. And there's some fans that are saying, hey, if the Bears move to Indiana, I'll no longer be a Bears fan.
Oh man.
I'm still going to be a Bears fan no matter what. Whether they're here or whether they move to another state, I'm going to still be a Bears fan no matter what. Now, I do admit that I would love for them to come to Arlington Heights because they'll be a lot closer to my home.
Really? Okay, it's okay to admit that. Okay.
So I do have a little bit of a preference there, but I don't know. I think that if Illinois is serious about, because really the Bears probably do want to stay primarily if in Chicago, and if they can't do Chicago or Arlington Heights, but also their business too. And
Yeah.
people got to understand that. I mean, if they throw one hell of an offer out there as far as the financing, as far as the stadium location, infrastructure, there's a point where it's like, they can't ignore that either.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think too. So I wonder, does it say, you might have mentioned this, but what would they do with where it is now if it does move? Will it just be, you might have said this, but like what would happen to the physical space?
Oh, what's interesting is that um, Soldier Field actually is not owned by the Bears. It's actually owned by Chicago Park District.
Oh, okay. So it would just
So
become a field for like other things.
exactly. And obviously, the estimated time of wherever the new stadium is going to be, they're going to have to break the lease, in which they'll pay the fee to break the lease. That's not a big deal for them.
Okay.
But I'm just wondering, they redid Soldier Field not too long ago. Why they did not make it bigger and put a dome on it, I do not know. That to me, that doesn't.
Yeah.
And I
Well, I
know.
mean, I definitely, oh, sorry, what were you saying?
Oh no, no, I was going to say one of the big sticking features is that because of all the money that was spent redoing Soldier Field, they want the Chicago Bears to kind of pitch in and help out. But the problem is that whatever they negotiated, the Bears paid their part. So,
Oh, yeah,
so it's like I get it that there's still money that the city has to pay, but you can't make someone pay something that they weren't contractually obligated to pay in the first place. They
right.
they agreed to pay so many millions, which they did, and they decided, okay, they need to go in a different direction. So, I mean, I get them being angry, but again, you can't force someone to pay something that they didn't agree to.
Totally. I was gonna say too, during my time in living in San Diego was also when we saw the Chargers move from San Diego to LA. And like for me, obviously, I don't really care either way. It didn't really affect me at all. But I did see people like it's sad when in San Diego when people do like make their personality a team or like they really care about it so much and like that is like I mean it's not like a severe trauma, but it is a trauma when you're like identified with a certain team and then they move or they jump cities and they're not like in your city anymore. And I do feel for people because it's like if a big part of your life is going to see the Bears or like going living in Chicago because of this team having like a big part of why you're there in the first place, having a move can be a lot.
That's true. That's true. I mean, do I think there's going to be some fans that are going to be pissed off and might not want to watch him again? Sure. But I think that the true diehard fans are going to follow them no matter where they go. You know,
Really? Yeah.
a little bit upset, they do leave the state, but I think that the majority of the fans are still going to be there. I know I'm going to still support them no matter what. So,
Good. Yay. That's a true fan. And what if they move to like San Francisco and now they're like the randomly like the San Francisco Bears or something? Them and the 49ers are like tied for I don't know.
okay, my feelings may change there.
Exactly. You have limits. You have limits.
See, I could drive to a game in Hammond, Indiana for a minute. That's not no big deal, but yeah, a little bit hard to travel across the country.
I bet people, even like real estate wise too, if that happens, then like the surrounding area, it's such a smart thing to just like try to snatch up some real estate if you can, like right by that, knowing that this huge thing is coming to town.
Oh, I tell you, if they, then one of the things that we don't talk about is um, that region of Indiana would greatly benefit from having the Bears
Yeah.
organization because it's not just the Bears in the stadium that comes there. Um, Obviously, having a professional NFL team is going to bring a lot of revenue
Yeah.
into there, not only from ticket sales, but also we also forget the restaurants, the hotels, Airbnbs. All of them are going to really, really, really uh, uh, enjoy the fruits of having that team there. And they're going to benefit
Yep.
greatly by having them there. Plus, the other thing, too, by having a dome, it can be used year round. So even when the Bears isn't playing, they can
Yeah.
concerts and other types of events as well, too. So, I mean, it's a huge, huge economic boost. And, I'm not terribly mad at Indiana for coming at the Bears so hard because it's a hell of an opportunity.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. I'll know something tells me that I'll know one way or another. If I see your shirts start changing to like Indiana Bears, then I'll know. Well, okay, my story is my version of NFL sports, which is Hershey's Reese's peanut butter cups. Now, and I thought this was so funny because this was like dueling tea between the different chocolate companies, which is exactly like my type of competitive sports. A grandson of Reese's founder, H.B. Reese, publicly alleged that the Hershey company changed ingredients in some Reese's products, claiming the traditional milk chocolate and peanut butter were replaced with weird like compound coatings and peanut butter style cream in certain items. The allegations were shared in a letter and social media posts and included examples such as the newer or seasonal Reese's products labeled as quote chocolate candy and peanut butter cream. Now the core Reese's peanut butter cups, and I'm including myself of like the fans of these because this is my favorite, is that we've been speculating for a while that the taste of the peanut butter cups have greatly changed. Like it just tastes way more chemical now. A lot of people are saying they don't feel well after they eat them compared to like, we used to be able to eat like a bunch of those little ones, the little peanut butter cups and be just fine. And now people are saying, oh, I have like 2 or 3 of them and I have a stomach ache. The company did acknowledge that recipe adjustments may occur across the broader Reese's product line to support new shape sizes and product innovations. And the dispute gained attention and industry pressures, such as high cocoa prices, which have led to manufacturers cutting corners. So, I mean, there's so much about this. I love, first of all, if you're the grandson of like HB Reese peanut butter cups, I would never shut up about that. I would be like the biggest chocolate nepo baby that's ever been in this planet. That's such a flex. But of course, just as more and more like highly manufactured processed foods are coming around, of course they're going to cut corners and not use the same like wholesome ingredients that they first started out making.
Yeah, I don't understand the logic with that because I've even seen restaurants do this over time where, let's say, food costs go up, ingredients costs go up, and instead of adjusting your pricing, they, you know, either substitute some of the ingredients, they use some lesser quality meat. And the thing is, your customers can taste the difference. And what
Yeah.
happens,
Oh, yeah.
instead of losing them on price, you lose them because of the quality. Now, obviously, prices are going up everywhere. There's really not anything you can really do on that right now, especially with the tariff situation, which obviously we'll be talking about very soon. Um, so the changing of the ingredients, I think, does way worse because I know that I haven't had a Reese's cup in a while, but I have heard that it's definitely doesn't taste the same, and you
It
can
tastes like
taste.
so processed and chemically. Yeah. And that's why, like, I would love to hear from our listeners if anyone else is, because that's definitely my number one, like, chocolate type of
Mhm.
situation. But now it's so worth going to, like, spend a little bit more and going to, like, a C's Candy or somewhere. And even if you get a bigger peanut butter cup, you can, like, cut it in fours and have a little bit less because the gas station peanut butter cups, it just tastes, like, so weird and so not right. but yeah, it's definitely like I used to want to get Cool Ranch Doritos and peanut butter cups, and now if I eat that, I feel like I'm eating battery acid. Like the next day, I like can't see, and like I have like my fingers are like triple the size they normally are, and I'm like, I just had one bag of Doritos and Reese's peanut butter cups.
Well, one thing is when you get stuff out the gas station, I'm a stickler at always looking at the expiration dates on everything. And
Oh, I never look. I should do that.
I've run across gas stations that pretty much everything on the shelf was expired. So,
Yeah. Oh my god,
so
I never
yeah,
look.
you really need to look. Now, I haven't run across that in the grocery stores, but gas stations typically either they're expired or they're very close to being expired. So definitely want to make sure you watch
Oh
out for
my
that.
gosh. And I try to gross myself out by watching videos of like how these are made in the factory because in theory this would stop me from eating a lot of processed food because it is kind of gross just watching like how much work goes into making a peanut butter cup, you know, and just like seeing all the factory parts and just seeing how like non-natural it is kind of really disgusting, but then I always forget and just end up eating it anyway.
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on lrodtvnetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss in your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on lrodtvnetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to lrodtvnetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
It's almost like the hot dog. Everyone loves the hot dog, but you don't want to see how.
Yeah. Exactly. Sometimes you just need to forget and enjoy it, and then other times you need to remember.
That is so true. That is so, so true. Well, talk about enjoyment. This may be really good news for consumers. The Supreme Court has invalidated most of President Trump's tariffs.
Ah.
So this has been a real big issue when Trump took office with tariffs going on. The Supreme Court on Friday delivered a major blow to President Donald Trump by invalidating most of the global tariffs, a cornerstone of his economic policy in his second term. So, in a 6-3 decision written by Chief Justice John Roberts, the court deemed that the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which is IEEPA, does not give Trump the power to unilaterally impose tariffs. So, we claim no special competence in matters of economics or foreign affairs. We claim only, as we must, the limited role assigned by to us by Article 3 of the Constitution's Roberts wrote. Plaintiff, fulfilling that role, we hold that IEEPA does not authorize the president to impose tariffs. The Trump administration attempted to justify the tariffs by arguing that the IEEPA says that the president has the power to regulate importation. But Roberts said that the road of the law, the read of the law, was a stretch. Now, this is huge because the tariffs have really thrown everybody in the loop. And the average person is, the average family has paid more than $2,000 a year because of these tariffs. So
Oh my
it
gosh.
actually raises a few questions. One, what happens to all that money that was collected? It's almost $2 billion. Does it go back to the companies,
Yep.
charge them, or do they go to the American people? My personal opinion, this is just my opinion, it should be divvied out and given to the American people, because we all know that if you give it back to the companies, them companies are not going to share it with the customers. I could be wrong, but that's just my feeling.
I agree with you. I'm on team people, and the money anyway will be going back to different companies and the economy in general with people, like how it did with our stimulus and to get it going. But the fact that we pay so much in taxes and just see very little of it back directly, it would be a very nice help for people that are struggling, I think.
I agree. I agree. And this took a while to get through, because of how long it took to fight this out in court. But I think that they need to literally tell the administration what to do, because as far as the administration is concerned, they don't know what to do with the money. They need to be told by the court. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but if you've been told that you're overcharging, do you really have to be told you have to give the money back? I mean, I'm just saying. Or maybe,
Right.
am I really oversimplifying it? I don't know. What do you think?
No, I mean, I think our government and everything likes to make simple ideas very challenging and complex just to mess with us and keep us stuck in bigger systems. But like, yeah, I think you're right, and I would vote for it to go back to the people for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would say back to the people, or you know what, get creative and do job training. Or
Yeah.
another idea, help pay off a lot of the student debt that people are carrying. Maybe
Yep.
just okay, we're gonna pay something towards everyone's student debt. Maybe it's a year's worth, maybe it's a 2 years worth, or whatever the amount may be. But there's all kinds of things that you can do. And I really hate when I hear politicians say we don't have the money, but then when it comes to things that's important to them, there is no such thing as a budget. It's like, okay, whatever needs to be done, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah. And then they go into debt. It's like the robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of thing, where it's like, okay, they reach into this, and then now like education has to get underfunded or whatever. And
Yes.
so yeah.
Yes.
And I really think too, like for all of us, it should always be the priority should be like clean water and food and air, and then like infrastructure, and then like all the little other things down at the bottom. But it's always like safety and a good environment should be like, at the top of our priority.
Oh yeah. I mean, one of the things that they touted was the administration said that these tariffs is going to save the Americans money, which it didn't do. So
Yeah.
I would think that the money will go back to them, but I could be wrong, and I could be oversimplifying things again. But I don't know. People watching and listening to us, what do you think they should do with the money? I would love
Exactly.
to know. Let us know on our social media. What do you think they should do?
What if everyone thinks it should go into the White House ballroom? more,
Yeah,
more gold bidets.
that would be shocking. That would be terrible.
So funny. Well, if they don't give it back to the people, I may have a way that we can all make our money back, and that is with the resurgence of claw machines. Now, I saw this article, and I'm like, we just have to talk about it because it's so funny to me. So, first off, I think you are, but like, you know what I'm talking about, where like the games that we see in restaurants or arcade, and people know where it's like the metal drop down claw. It usually is getting like a stuffed animal. A lot of times I feel like for one reason or another, they may be fixed, or magnets or lasers are actually helping us not win. But claw machines have experienced a resurgence driven largely by social media content and nostalgia, with videos attracting billions of views, excuse me, and turning the games into monetizable entertainment. Now I watched some TikTok accounts where they live stream themselves playing claw games and winning, and I'm obsessed with like the creators that know how to hack the system, and basically all times they're able to like win a claw game, and whether it's the technique or whether they have some type of like magnetic device that trips up the machine. I'm just like obsessed with watching the claw gameplay. Examples include YouTubers Eric Kane and Matt Magone, who began playing as children and now have millions of subscribers documenting them playing claw games. Playing costs typically range from 25 cents to $2 per attempt, and the trend reflects a broader ecosystem in which claw machines function as a platform for content and small business activity rather than solely as arcade games. So people are saying also like a business opportunity is being the vendor of claw games and pretty much like going to local restaurants and saying, I'll supply you with the arcade game and trying to like have a business that way, which I think is really interesting.
That's true. I mean, I used to play claw games a long time ago. I just got tired of putting my money in there because one, if you're not paying attention, you actually spend more money on trying to win that prize versus if you just bought it straight up. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is there's been times where I had it directly on the item and it looked like it's coming up and then it slips off. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this thing is rigged. I'm not playing this crap no more. And I think that's why a lot of people don't play them anymore.
But if you watch the YouTube, you'll get to know the hacks.
That's true. I mean, I've heard that there's a certain way you have to, I guess, once you put it in, you got to hit the level a certain way or hit the button so many times and all this. It's like, personally, I don't want to do all that kind of work just to win a little stupid prize.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing is usually these things are like a penny kind of trashed stuffed animals anyway. Like.
I mean, you know what? More power to you. People want to use them. I think it's something that would I invest as a business for that? No, I wouldn't. Because yeah, people are going to try it. And the thing is, if people aren't winning every so often and everyone is losing, then people are just going to stop playing the game. You just got a game set invested in and no one's putting money in there. So
I think it's always so funny too and kind of a tell when they have like 4 stuffed animals and then like an iPhone 15. And I'm like, okay, no one is winning that. Like you can pretty much guess if they're selling like $800 sneakers in there or something. They have something set up magnet wise or laser wise or something that like you're probably not going to get to it.
That is true. That is true. I mean, it would be nice to see someone win that, but I agree with you. I don't think anyone's going to win that. And I could be wrong.
No.
I'm totally wrong. Would you play those?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like every now and then if I have cash and if I'm somewhere where there's like a line and that we're waiting for something, I totally will. Just knowing that I will lose stuff. I love skee ball the most. If I'm at an arcade, I want to play like skee ball all day.
It's nice. I like skee ball too. I think I'll play that faster than I would the claw machine.
Me too. And just pretty much knowing with the claw machine, like you are kind of just throwing away. I even feel that way about like fair games, like games that you would play at a local fair. Knowing I don't want to win this like weird garbage stuffed animal, but it's still kind of fun to just mentally zone out and play.
Well, you know what? It's the challenge of winning is what it is. It's not even necessarily the prize, but just that, hey, I won this. That's what people really chase.
It's like a dopamine stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like I said, people that want to invest in those, more power to you.
Yeah.
Don't get my money though.
Exactly.
Well, my last topic is an interesting one. And actually a sad one at the same time. Podcasters and live streamers are camping out in front of Nessie Guthrie's home. So, as of late February 2026, a significant number of true crime influencers, YouTubers, and live streamers have been camping out or maintaining a constant presence in front of the Tucson, Arizona home of Nancy Guthrie following her February 1st disappearance. So, the street outside of her home has been described as a media circus and a unique crime scene where influencers have set up lawn chairs, tripods, and phones to stream for hours, often speculating about the case. Streamers such as JLR Investigates, which is Jonathan Lee Richards, have conducted near constant streams from location. Some streamers have been present for consecutive weeks. So there's issues raised by the local authorities and residents being frustrated with the presence of these content creators noting that they, along with media crews, have created parking congestion in a narrow, dark road. Safety concerns included uh, by Arizona State Rep Alma Hernandez has criticized the presence of these streamers, stating that they are hindering the investigation and creating safety issues. I think this is so sad that people are using this as their 15 minutes of fame and try to get more people to watch their podcasts and streaming shows and stuff like that. I'm really surprised that law enforcement isn't taking a better handle on this, because when you're investigating something, you may not necessarily want eyes right there, kind of
Yeah.
see what you see until you analyze what it is. And I think it's probably on that line of being disrespectful at the same time. What do you think, Meryl?
Yep. I agree. I mean, I think it's definitely um one of the things too that it comes down to almost safety and like a certain amount of respect. Um where did you say that this like originated from, or it just like I'm looking now too because I heard it different. I heard a story about um this but from like the police point of view too. But yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy, and this is someone's family. This is someone's loved one
Yeah.
that's missing. And I think that the other problem too is when you have people constantly, and this is what we talk about social media too, where sometimes it's not so good. And this is one of those situations where they could be putting out false narratives about, well, this is
Yeah.
going on, and okay, now they got this lead, it's probably this and that. And I tell people to be careful where you get your information from.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I just found it. It was an article more from like a police person saying that sometimes when people create a big spectacle out of these things, it can lead to wrong information. The wrong people get pursued, and we actually waste like resources, money, and time. Um, and I think a lot of these YouTubers and people camping out too. I'm sure some of them mean well, but then other people are just looking for their own 15 minutes of fame and just want attention. So it's a shame that this kind of stuff happens with like every well-known case and speculation where there are people just trying to do good and help and like find missing people and advocate for those that have been hurt, but then there's others that just want to kind of jump on the like bandwagon.
That is so true, Meryl. And the crazy thing about it too is that, I mean, do they really make that much money where they can sit out there all day long for
I
weeks at a
know.
time?
Well, I guess somebody's streaming. I guess to them it's almost like an investment in their, they can stream from there and it's probably good for views and then it's like upping their profile, which is kind of annoying, you know?
Yeah, and the one thing that was highlighted in what I just read, we forget is there's other families, other people that live in that neighborhood. So
Yeah,
I can
totally.
just imagine how angry they are because it's literally a circus right outside of their door. And
Yes.
and just imagine being able to, because you still have to go to work, you still have to go to the store to get stuff. So, to get in and out of your home and in and out of your block, it's like a zoo in itself. And that could be very, very trying and very stressful as well, too.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy watching and then I feel like there's a lot of like well-known influencers that do that or like YouTube streamers, and then there's a lot of like baby ones that just show up wanting their 15 minutes of fame.
Oh yeah. And the crazy thing about it is this, it makes it difficult to know what's really going on because you got so many people throwing their hat in, throwing their 2 cents into what they're thinking is.
Yeah.
So it goes back to, okay, you need to really just pay attention to mainstream media. Some people have their opinions for or against it, but at least you'll have some type of knowledge as far as what's really going on. And some of the stuff that you hear, because I've listened to some of this stuff, and some of it's really off the rails. I'm not even going to repeat it. It's just so bizarre, you know. But you
Yeah,
have
I
to,
know, I know. Even as a conspiracy theorist, sometimes I'm like, this is enough.
right. So you really have to be careful where you get this information from because some of these people, it's like, okay, what experience do you have? Well, I have a camera and I have internet connection, so
Exactly. Yep. Well, oh, my last one, I think this is so funny where Okay, I'm obsessed with this. So, actress Rose Byrne won her first Golden Globe for the movie If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and revealed during her acceptance speech that her partner, Bobby Cannavale, was absent because he was attending a reptile expo in New Jersey. Byrne, and of course, like the internet went ablaze with this, and some people thought it was hilarious, and it was like, okay, good for him. And then other people are like, why isn't your partner at the Golden Globes? Why is he busy looking at iguanas and everything? Byrne later clarified that Cannavale was not attending for himself, but was purchasing a bearded dragon for their two children. She said the public reaction made it seem as though he was a reptile enthusiast, which she disputed, emphasizing the pet was for their kids. And a lot of people said, she said she felt unprepared during her acceptance speech and later apologized via messages to forget people that to thank people that she forgot. They've been together since 2012 and they share two children. Now I'm obsessed with this, and I think I could totally see me being at the Golden Globes and my boyfriend being at like a weird oddities expo, and in a good way, not in a way that like because he's not supportive, just in a way like I don't care if my boyfriend comes to my comedy shows or not. And I think when I was first starting out, I did, and now I'd rather just like be focused and without him, So if I was getting like a lifetime achievement award, of course, like I'd want him and my parents there. But just like even just the Golden Globes to these people, I think just are a normal, as exciting as it seems to us, to them, it's just like, okay, Tuesday afternoon, I'm going to go to this award show, and like you're going to go get a bearded dragon. So I don't see anything wrong with it. And I think it's like so hilarious that she said that just honestly what was happening, and that now she had to go back and explain it again.
I mean, the thing is, I agree with you. I think it depends on each individual person, each individual situation, because who knows what could be going on. And, maybe a situation where it's like they're really proud of this award, but okay, maybe they've had prior commitments that they want to fulfill. And your commitment to your children counts as a commitment. People got to understand that. And sometimes people kind of look at it as, well, this is a big major award. You should have been there. I get all that, but it still boils down to be an individual decision. It really does. Because we've seen awards, I mean huge awards like the Oscars and stuff, where the person that's supposed to get the award isn't there and they accept it on their behalf. And that's all it said.
Yeah.
They don't go, well, why wasn't this person here? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, they're not here. Let's go on to the next award.
Exactly. And the fact that he was looking for a bearded dragon for his kids is just a very funny reason not to be at this thing. And like, just like anything, I'm sure all of us view these like award shows and these Oscars and Grammys as like huge things. But if you've gone to them like 2 or 3 times in a row, they really do just become kind of like, this is just like, like I think many people would be shocked what the Oscars looks like when you're driving by on Hollywood Boulevard. It's just basically like a outside room, and they have like fake carpets, and it's not as like glamorous. And so I can imagine when you're inside it so much like they are, and you're just like, well, I could go to this, or I could go shopping for the bearded dragon.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people don't understand too, Meryl, is that when you see a lot of these award shows, a lot of those seats that people are in, outside of the celebrities, a lot of those seats are paid for because they have an empty stadium or empty venue giving out awards. That don't look great. So a lot of people don't realize that there are a lot of people that are literally paid to sit there at the awards show.
Exactly. I love it.
So I don't know. I think people are really kind of getting a little bit crazy with this. It is what it is.
Me too. And why not? Honestly, like, I think this is an opportunity to also think it's cool that someone in Hollywood actually told the truth and like was honest, and she told us the answer. Other people would bullshit us and be like, he couldn't be here but it's like cool. And she's a real person with a husband and 2 kids. And like she said what the truth is. And so why punish someone like that, and just, if anything, be happy that she's not being fake like a lot of these other actors are.
I mean, she could have easily just saying, well, he wanted to be here, but he wasn't able to make it, and leave it at that. She could have easily,
exactly.
So, hey, went on and got a bearded dragon. That's all.
Can't blame a man for going to that instead of the Golden Globes.
Well, talk about what's going on. Meryl, what do you have coming up?
Yay. I am so excited for my show Tuesday, March 10th at Flappers in Burbank. And so it's just a very fun show. Anyone that lives in Los Angeles, Southern California, Flappers in Burbank is so awesome. It's where kind of like the home club for where Jay Leno is. On any given night, Jay Leno performs there. There's been lots of times where I'm doing the show in the small loser room and Jay Leno's in the big, cool, famous room. So yeah. So I will be there Tuesday, March 10th. Flappers.
Hey, maybe Jay Leno will surprise you and bring you over to the nice room, huh?
Oh my God, I would love that. And there was one night where I did a show and Jay Leno was in the big room and I was in the little room. And then afterwards I went out to Chick-fil-A and Jay Leno was in Chick-fil-A eating. And I didn't go up to him because he was like talking to someone, but I told my parents, I'm like, Jay Leno and I are having like the same night pretty much.
Nice.
He just went home to a few more cars and a few more square footage.
Well, everyone, if you're in the Burbank area, definitely make sure you go out and support Meryl. She would love to see you there.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening to us. We are very excited and looking forward to your responses to some of the things that we brought up and some of the input that we asked for. So definitely make sure you go to all of our social media and let us know what you think. We would love to hear your
Exactly. Totally. I'm most interested in the Reese's peanut butter hot talk. I want to know.
Something tells me a lot of people are going to comment on that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, everyone, I'm Lawrence Elrod.
And I'm Meryl Climo.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on lrodthenetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on lrodthenetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to lrodthenetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.